Welcome to episode 15 of SCREAMBOX Essential Picks. Okay, so this is a crazy episode because the films that I have picked are pretty much alike in my own world. They kind of have the same kind of vibe going on with the way that the film looks and whatnot. And also one of them is a dear friend of mine. It's his film. All right. Connected with him year and a half ago, and we are still in kind of talks and a lot of other things that have been going on in his life. And we'll get to that once we get to that film. But I just want to address that the last couple weeks have been a little stressful in my personal life and whatnot. So I do apologize for the lack of constant days of things coming out. How I used to put things out on a Monday, and then we'd also have something come out on a Friday. Schedule's been a little sporadic lately, mainly because I haven't really been reaching out to a whole lot of people for interviews, just because my mind just hasn't really been there 100% for me to want to dive in. Yeah, there's been a few here and there that are coming out, and then maybe another one or two the next couple of weeks. But our train of having constant guests on this show has kind of halted for the meantime. I'm not gonna say that they aren't gonna be coming back. And even like movie reviews have been full on movie reviews have been a bit hard to do, to get me to sit down, put my mind somewhere. So I've been, kind of enjoying doing the SCREAMBOX Essential Picks, because most of the time, if they put a film on the service that I have already seen, I don't have to go and watch it again. But most of the time, I'm going and picking up new films. I'm watching new ones that I haven't seen to see, are these worthy of going on my own SCREAMBOX Essential Picks list for everybody to follow. So fear not, the Essential Picks will still be coming. Full movie reviews might be slightly delayed. I do have a few that I'm going to be putting out at the tail end of this week. One of them has already dropped, and it's a film that is on SCREAMBOX that I did get as a screener. I just didn't get a chance to record it yet, and that is We Might Hurt Each Other, which is a good film. We will get into that later for that review. Today, we are going to be talking about these two films that I handpicked. One of them I was really excited about once I saw it drop on the list. I'm like, I got to put that on there. And the other one is one that I've been wanting to put on this list for a while, and I just couldn't find a good movie partner, if you will, to add to the list. And it finally happened. So the first one that we're going to talk about is Blood Lake from 1987. And boy, this film, I enjoy it for probably all the wrong reasons that a lot of people would probably may or may not enjoy it with. It's a shot-to-video film. Actually, it's very pretty. It's very pretty. There's not like a lot of screen tearing going on, which you would see that in some other, shot to video films back then, especially like in the early 90s and whatnot. There'd be a lot of screen tearing, really bad acting. The sets would be kind of atrocious. And it would just be like, why the hell am I watching this? And this isn't one of them. This is one that I actually really did enjoy because of the camaraderie that's going on in this, the amount of the cast that is there. And it's very like man, what's the best way to put it? It's very man-brained, I will say. Very man-brained in this film. It's I'll read the synopsis just so you guys can see like what I'm talking about. So on IMDb, it is 6 teenagers are partying one weekend. One couple disappears, only to be found brutally murdered. A bloodthirsty killer is stalking them. One by one, bodies begin to show up. as they become prey, the vengeance-seeking maniac. Okay, so right off the bat, I gotta say that IMDb is giving it a really good job of hyping up this film and making you want to go and see a bunch of teenagers get slaughtered. As it's not really my plan, I'm gonna do these episodes, and when I highlight these films, to go and essentially talk about the plot a lot, or to do spoilers or anything. I just want to give a warning that the synopsis seems like it's going to be bloody slasher, because it's a slasher essentially at the heart of it. It is a slasher, but just be warned that it's not exactly as it's saying. It takes a while for things to kind of happen, and I like that about films from time to time, to take a while for the killings or the main plot kind of settle in. This film, they really want you to savor the people that you're meeting, and to really dive into their headspace and why they're here and their motives for one another. For these couples, I can actually, is there even anybody in this film that went on and did anything else? I don't think so. Since it was a shot to video film, these normally are just like one and dones. No one really does anything else. It was directed by Tim Boggs and written by Doug Barry. I'm not sure if they've done anything else. Let's take a quick look. Oh, well, Tim did The Bucket List, which I actually really like that movie. Okay, he did some stuff on Breaking Bad. Oh, okay, so he's definitely got some stuff he did. Oh, okay. All right, so Tim, he's got a little bit going on, but what about Doug? No, Doug. Doug essentially pretty much just did Black Lake, and that was it. But it's a very interesting film. It's set on a lake, so it's got that summery vibe going on. You guys are thinking, oh, it's gonna be like a Friday the 13th type thing. No, it's pretty much like its own standalone. These people are held up in a cabin, like they go there. I think it's like a family cabin of one of the girlfriend's parents. So they go there, and it's like a strange little shed in the back that everybody keeps like wondering about. And they're like, well, we can't get in there. Oh, we don't have a key to that. Oh, okay. And then things start happening. You meet other people on the lake. It's a fun film if you want to go into the lives of teenagers. If you want to relive what it's like to be a teenager, essentially, this is a film I think that you need to go and watch. I enjoyed it. The quote unquote reveal isn't like amazing. It's just a fun film to me. I know some people. I know there's gonna be some people that go and watch this and be like, bro, why the fuck did you recommend this? But you know what? That's kind of the beauty of this, is like, I want this list to be about films that you probably would never watch, where you would just look over it and be like, why am I going to watch this? This looks so stupid. I'm putting it on here for mainly that reason, for you to go and watch it and be like, wow, this is stupid, but you watched it. You gave it a little bit of support. You're letting SCREAMBOX know by watching it that, oh, okay, so people are interested in this kind of film. They like the shot-to-video films. I do like shot-to-video and home video and all the weird, video shit that was going on in the late 80s, early 90s, and even like to some extent into like the 2000s, early 2000s, of people doing like home videos and getting it released to local stores, and obviously not having to worry about it being rated or anything. They get it up there and boom. So yes, go watch Blood Lake. It's fun. I love the dynamic of everybody in this film. It's fun. It's very, very fun. Go check that out on SCREAMBOX. And for my next one, this is one that it's loved and hated, and then it's hated and loved at the same time. And it was on Shudder. I'm not sure if it still is, because I know Joe Bob did an episode on this, and it is Spookies, or known as, you're in the world of that, Twisted Souls. And as I said earlier, I have a friend who I had on the show. Well, we became friends after he came on the show. I interviewed Frank Farrell, who was essentially one of the writers and producer on Spook, and he was also in Street Trash. You guys would know him as the hobo that was kicking around his dick. So Frank, he before we jump into this, Frank is getting into the circuit now of going to conventions and festivals, trying to get out there, because for a long, long time, he thought that everybody hated this film. So he never really put himself out there. He had this this feeling that nobody cared, and so he was like, if nobody cared, why do I care? Why do I want to go out there and do this? And after doing that interview and then becoming friends, and we still talk, from time to time to see what's going on and see how he's doing and whatnot. And there is some stuff that is Spookies related that I can't really talk about unless he kind of releases that. But there is hopes somewhere in the world that there is a sequel, or continuation, or whatever you want to call it, of Spookies. And that's all I can really say about that. I wish I could say more, but I don't have his consent. So if you guys are in the festival circuit, if you guys are going to conventions, seek out Frank. He's a really down to earth, sweet guy. He's super nice. He's trying his best right now too to give people some high quality stuff to have at his table for you guys to go and purchase and see and whatnot. So please go see Frank. But let's go into the world of Spookies. Let's go over to IMDb, their amazing synopsis. Okay, a wicked sorcerer tries to sacrifice a group of people inside his house with the intention of using their vitality to keep his wife alive. Alright, so this is obviously a film that is extremely hard to talk about because, as everybody knows, if you've seen this film, or if you have at least listened to Joe Bob talk about it, or read online, that this was essentially like 2 or 3 films morphed into fucking one. As it was originally just going to be Twisted Souls, which is going to be about the teenagers, and then they had someone step in because the original funders and crew essentially got fired, or they quit, and they had to do reshoots. Did that, and then they had to do more reshoot. Because this film, as convoluted as it is and fucking batshit, and a lot of people will pass on it, it's a film that needs to be watched, because this is what happens when you try to do too many things and there's too many people at the table. You want to not do what this film did. And another reason why Frank feels off about what people say about it, because of how convoluted and how much he hates how it came out, because he didn't have a say once it was taken out of his hands for it to be what it is today. We do have some scores on Rotten Tomatoes. We didn't have any for Blood Lake, that's why I didn't read it out. So the tomato meter is 29%, and audience is 19%. Those are pretty rough, but when you look at the overall reason as to why it's rated so low, you'd be like, I understand. But for the enjoyment factor of this film and just overall what the fuck is going on, it's a great film for that. It really, really is. And I'm pretty sure Vinegar Syndrome has a really, really good cut of this film that you can get. And Frank's been sending me some other really cool ones that are coming out from like Germany, all over the world, really. Like, there's a lot of different like cover arts and versions and quote unquote rips of this film that if you're a Spookies fan, you want to go hunt those down. So go check that one out. I'm not even going to try to talk about the plot because, boy, I wouldn't know where to start. All I want to say is that there's some really, really good practical effects in here with the monsters and whatnot. And the acting, believe it or not, is actually pretty damn good. So please go check that one out. Oh, this has been a wacky episode of Wacky Films, huh? So, as always, I want to give you my viewing order of these. And they're both so weird. And I'm not going to say out of place, but just weird. And I would probably have to say to. 1 second. Oh, sorry. I've been really tired lately. I'm going to leave that in there. I will say, start with Blood Lake for like a very authentic shot to video, well done, well acted, and sort of, I guess, well landed film. So start with Blood Lake and end your night off with Spookies. Because if you want to see a lot of zombies and some farting ghouls, yes, check out Spookies. End with that one. And one last thing before we go. Tickets are still on sale. This is still happening. August 16th, Cinema Salem in Salem, Massachusetts. We are showing Death Drop Gorgeous with the cast and crew of Monster Makeup. They're friends of mine. They've been to the other event that I did. They have a new film that's going around the festival circuit right now called Saint Drogo. Highly, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It will be at Popcorn Frights, I'm pretty sure. And there was another one that they just announced too, but I totally forget what it is. I think it's in Denver. So go check that one out. It's very, very good. It's very great crew, especially if you are like me and you like supporting queer horror and queer filmmaking. Check them out. Saint Drogo is a complete different vibe and feel than Death Drop Gorgeous. So if you guys haven't seen Death Drop Gorgeous, want to come to my event, it will be there with a live Q&A. You guys will be getting a poster made as well. And for the other announcement that I made, I think in the last episode, is in September. It will be, I think it's September 28th. I gotta double check on that date, but I think that's what it is. We're doing Pool Party Massacre with Drew Marvick in the cast crew section. He will be there doing signings and whatnot. Those tickets are not on sale yet. We're finalizing a couple of things in the background. So a lot of exciting things happening here with the podcast. And like I said earlier, I do apologize for the inconsistency of our release schedules and whatnot. Hoping to be back on track within the next week or so. But keep an eye out for essential picks. And please go subscribe to SCREAMBOX. Support them for all that they do. They are fucking phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. Go check out these films. And we'll see you in the next one.